Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, November 9th, 2018. Happy Friday, everyone. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. What you'll notice here is that price rallied significantly over the last 5 to 7 days. Yesterday, we had a digestive day where it basically held those gains back and forth traded. We expected that behavior. I mentioned to our traders in the trading room that any rejection of yesterday's low, so a failed new low, any rejection of these lows could suggest another major squeeze ahead, even if price were to drop a little lower and then reject those lows. So those are going to be the key levels to watch here. It's going to be really that level right there. It's that low. Yesterday's low is at 27.95. So can price break below that level and then reclaim those levels? I mean, right now we're at 94.75, 95 even. So it's dancing around that zone at the moment. If there is a rejection here, by the end of the day we could be trading higher. But we know how Fridays have been. The news dumps on Fridays have been very poor. So at times we have seen rotations lower on a Friday. This was last Friday where it rallied big, and then by the end of the day it was back down. So that's the main level to watch here, 27.95, 27.90. Any failure to hold that level could open up much more downside. It could be a return trip back toward 27.50, and that could happen today. So right now, I mean, we're right at the key level here to continue to watch. Again, this has been a very strong squeeze. We're right back at the point where we were before, where we dropped to those recent lows, and it didn't take long, so it's conceivable again we could do it again. And then rejecting the previous month's low would be an opportunity to buy it. So we could easily flow all the way back down. We don't have to continue higher, so keep that in mind. But I think that all comes to a pass right here at around 27.42s. That could be an early area where bulls really want to come on strong. And then you have the 2700 level, which is the main level to keep bid this month. That's where the previous month's close is. That's where we went bid to start the month. If we pull back to that level, there's a major LVN. It's a major key level. That's where the prior pivot low is. It could make a higher low, and that could be a major continuation point. So from a near-term perspective, watch 27.95 today. Even if we break below it and have an aggressive sell-off, we could drop as low as 2700 and still be a great buying opportunity for a potential year-end move. So we'll continue to watch this here, how it develops today. If you look at the NQ, you'll notice here as well that we're testing prices below the previous session's low, which was 71.32s. We're trading just below it here and trading into the midpoint from Wednesday's session. That midpoint there is 70.98 quarter, and that's kind of where we're testing. So again, when you see a major squeeze like we've seen and then we pull back here, that's usually an opportunity for bulls to defend and push this thing even higher. So we'll continue to watch this. Again, this could drop into 7K even today and still be a buying opportunity, but really it's down here at around 68.65 to 6900. That's kind of the last line of defense down there where bulls really need to keep it bid to really get a higher low going, a nice compression here, and then perhaps a year-end squeeze. So right now, keeping an eye on the previous low and also prices back below 7K for a longer-term buy-up. Taking a look at crude oil, you'll see here crude oil has been extremely bearish. Nothing has stopped this from going down. It has been unlike anything I've seen in a very long time. Aggressive selling behavior, and now we've dropped right into the LVN here, precisely at 59.28. That is the low. We're bouncing off of that level now. If you look at the 1-minute chart, that low is actually a fairly strong low. It's a fairly strong low. If those 59.28s can continue to hold, watch 59.50 to about 59.70 today, because that area is being absorbed right now, and that could lead to a short-term bounce. Again, this has been a very bearish market. I hesitate jumping in front of it unless it's a really strong low on a daily chart basis, but on an intraday chart basis, the 59.28s look very strong, and I would watch 59.60, 59.50 for signs of near-term strength back towards 60.5. But right now you can see this thing isn't really stopping until we hit some sort of major washout low. So on a swing basis, it's still going down. We could even get much lower. We talked in the trading room of value being 49.18. major LVN at 55, and that's also a market structure level, and that would be a complete washout of that huge move we've seen above 55. So more downside could still be ahead on a medium-term basis, but whenever we do see a floor here, it could be an aggressive bounce opportunity. We'll know it when we see it. Right now, not that opportunity, but on a day basis, we could see a little bit of near-term strength if 59.50 can hold. All right, let's take a look now at gold. Gold right here, failing to push through those highs. Again, this one has had mostly sideways behavior for a very long time. There's been a couple of directional days that have gotten us to where we currently are, right? The rejection, a big update, big update, big update, and has kind of progressed this thing. But most of the time it's been sideways. And so after we failed to break out here, I mentioned we could be in a sideways range here where it could develop a little longer before we see perhaps a continuation. 1200 is still a major level, 1210, all of that. Even if we do test into that zone, bulls need to keep it bid, because if break there opens up a major downside move, 1112 would be the next downside target. Lastly, let's take a look here at, let's do Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, is at the point where it needs to do something. It's doing much of nothing right now, and it's very tightly compressed. It's trading below value, being about 64.15s. It's trading below value at the moment, and it is accumulating at this area. 6K actually continues to be the major area. We are at the low of this zone, and it's got to go one way or another. Again, this is about as tightly compressed as you'll see, and at some point you're going to see one big move. Again, continue to watch this, but the longer it goes sideways without popping, the more a downside flush starts to become more and more a likely outcome. So again, a lot of compression here. At some point we see a major move. If it isn't to the upside soon, we may see a flush coming. So continue to watch Bitcoin from that perspective. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Happy Friday.